Hello folks, in this Flat Earth teaching moment video, I'm addressing a rebuttal to my first Flat Earth flogging video that Rachie seems to think gets Flat Earth off the hook and alive again. Rachie, I'm very happy to see that at least you made an effort, which is a lot more than I can say for the thicket of idiots you hang with who do nothing but repeat unsubstantiated rhetoric. That said, on the outcome of this attempt, sorry Rachie, with all due respect, it does not rise to the level of successful debunk. In fact, the exact opposite is true, as it indeed confirms my point while simultaneously and unambiguously destroying Flat Earth in the process. This video, I'm delighted to inform you, will be your Bob Nodell moment. But please, don't let that dampen your spirit. Throughout my life, I've always turned my mistakes into learning moments, and I can tell you there have been many. You too will learn from this. Now let's find out why this video doesn't quite rise to the level of a debunk of my point and why it actually crashes Flat Earth. I would very much like to read your comments on this. That said, I'm sure my audience will treat you mercifully, Rachie, and I thank them in advance. Early in the piece, Rachie points to the star trails which I said were taken near the equator and then builds a straw man that I had nothing to do with. This photo is clearly not taken at the zenith of Polaris as it would need to be for the star trails to be perfectly circular. This is wrong for Flat Earth. Now here Rachie points out that I assume that all the stars are at one level. In fact, I don't need to. And I would not, because the reality is stars are vastly different distances. But star trails are not dependent on the height of the stars, only the light that emanates from them. You cannot look up at the stars and tell which ones are closer and which ones are further. If stars were local, as asserted by flat earthers, and you could observe that they were varying in height, and the stars are moving, then that would make huge additional problems of parallax on Flat Earth. Now, notice how Nathan Oakley publicly called you out, Rachel, and admonished you. It's because he knows exactly what it would mean for Flat Earth. Actually, I think the most entertaining thing about your video was the comments from Nathan Oakley in full tilt damage control, rolling out all the talking points thick and fast, hoping that his minions will get distracted as they usually do. My video absolutely demolished Flat Earth. Nathan would have rather you just pretended my video did not exist. So getting back to Rachie's multi-level light fixture. When you're directly under the light fixture that Rachie showed us, you don't see the depth. In fact, just by looking at stars using one's naked eyes or a P900 camera, it's impossible to tell that stars vary in height. So, as the Earth turns, or stars turn, they create a perfectly circular star trail with a light in the middle, and others around it at different radii. Actual stars would look just like this. Rachie then, pretending that she has debunked my assertion, proceeds to tell us that southern star trails would be the same as northern ones. Well, hang on, Rachie, not so fast. If all the star trails are moving in one direction around Polaris at the North Pole, then logically, looking south, they would be sweeping across the sky, because at best we would be looking at the outer extremities of a circular movement of stars, with Polaris at the center. You don't need to be a genius to see how this would work on a flat Earth, and that the assertion that circular star trails are possible looking south is ridiculous. Please do not pretend you don't understand, Rachie. You won't be fooling anybody. Now listen carefully, Rachie. Before we finish up on star trails, please tell us exactly how it is that we can see the same southern star trails from two different continents at exactly the same time. That's 133 degrees apart from each other. On flat Earth, at 33.5 degrees latitude, that is 8,521 radius, times pi times 133 divided by 180 is 19,780 miles. Incidentally, Rachie, the same distance on a globe Earth is just 7,658 miles. That's almost 260% less than flat Earth, which matches both the shipping and flights. Funny that, Rachie, isn't it? And flat earthers like Oakley, Quantum Eraser, Adam Macon, Mitchell and 10th Man and Sleeping Warrior, they all claim to be expert navigators. Well, frankly, based on this, I doubt they could navigate themselves out of a baboon cage. Next, Rachie takes us to a simple but awesome demonstration of stars rotating on a Lazy Susan. Firstly, we get to see it from above, which would be the same as looking up at stars. Rotating the Lazy Susan and using a time-lapse shot would give you a nice circular ring, as if you were standing at the zenith of Polaris looking up. Rachie then moves the camera to simulate looking at the stars from near the equator. That's great. Now look at the actual Lazy Susan and then look at her star model pom-poms. They form an oval, Rachie. Even blind Freddy could tell that it suddenly dawned on you that I'm right, even as you were recording that video. But inexplicably, you persisted.
Okay, so this pink ball here on this white box represents Polaris, and the purple ones represent other stars going around. So this would be akin to looking up at the stars, even though we're looking down. It's the same thing, the direction would just be different, but the directions are relevant. This is just about how we get circular star trails. So it turns around and it creates circular star trails. They turn and circular star trails are formed, no problem. Now we go to the horizon, not the horizon, sorry, the equator, where they're at the horizon. So now we're at the equator, okay, and now we make it go around again, and it goes around, and as you notice again, they are circular, because as they come closer they get lower, and as they go further away they appear to get higher, and that's how you get your circular star trails. They get lower and then they get higher as they go around, or appear to, and that's basically how you get your star trails at the equator. Now obviously this is not to scale and distance wise and height wise and everything, so it's not entirely perfect, and obviously I've only got so big of a circle that turns, so it's not going to be perfect, but this is basically just to give you the gist of it, and the gist of it is basically this is how it would work.
Did you really think that saying the word circle while your model was tracing an oval would distract everyone from the oval they were staring at? Rachie, why has your buddy Riley just kept right away? He has literally abandoned you. Rachie, everyone makes mistakes, and everyone can get things wrong. They can misspeak, and you are no fool, just misguided on this topic. Maybe Riley got to you. It should be abundantly clear now that flat Earth is just a scam, which will eventually become clear to you. I know if not now, you will in the future, and when that happens, and it will, I and many other people will give you the biggest, best shout out you ever got. I think that should be enough, and hopefully clear as possible for Rachie and anyone else still confused. Now Rachie, again, without a doubt, this kills Flat Earth stone dead, and kudos to you for helping to make that happen. Everyone, please do your homework now with a comment, and a like, and a share, mirror, whatever you can help. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Now I'll be back soon with some more Flat Earth flogging, where I promise I won't be pulling any punches, and I'm sure you'll be thrilled. Cheers.